Once upon a time, I used to be the hero in your story. But today, you are young adults, and I know that I am not that guy anymore because you are not the little children you used to be. I am proud of you and love you very much. I don't want you to be like me because if you are me, who's going to be you? Your mother and I always believed, actually more your mother than myself, that we were your first teachers, and we believed that the work of true education is to train young people to be thinkers and not mere reflectors of other men's thought. That is why we have a Bible reading plan for us as a family. That is why we listen to inspiring videos and have family worship. Instead of confining your study to that which men have said or written, we wanted to direct you to the sources of truth found in nature, in relationships, and revelation. We wanted you to learn about duty and destiny, and your mind to expand and grow and be strengthened. Guys, I don't want you to be educated weaklings, but I want you to be strong, to think and to act, to be masters and not slaves of your circumstances. You should possess breadth of mind, clearness of thought, and the courage of your convictions. We've tried our best to inspire you to move and act from reason and principle, not to have your minds controlled by another person or institution. We have taught you to have an opinion of your own, while at the same time respecting experienced judgment and advice. I've told you a million times because it has been proven over and over, and what's worth remembering is worth repeating. So I will say it once more. Never forget that God is working behind the scenes of your life, orchestrating events in your favor. Believe it, have faith in Him, and as long as you walk with God, you will always arrive at your destination. Now let's go back to me not being your hero anymore. It's okay, I can handle it. The real question is, who is the hero in your story? Every story has to have a hero. Let me tell you what is not your story. Something happened to you the other day, or maybe in the distant past, good or bad. It is not your story. It is just an event. What happens after the event is the story. Only small people define others by a single event. Here's why. People are defined not by what happens, but by what happens after whatever happened. Yes, you heard me correctly. No one wants to be locked in an event of the past, even if the event is a good one and worth remembering. And those who say they have nothing to hide or be shameful about are those who have never lived half of their lives yet, or they are not telling us the whole truth. You see, a random collection of events is not a story, but the thread, it is the thread which connects each event that makes it a story, working like cause and effect. If there is no thread, then it is just an anecdote. That's what I think. For me, I look for the thread that runs through the events, especially the threads that lead from the event. What happens after the event, it is how you respond that makes you a hero or villain of your story. Everyone wants to be a hero of their story. Let me explain this to you. Every story or movie has 4 characters. There may be others, but they mainly play supporting roles. The hero, the villain, the victim, and the guide. In the stories that we live, if we make an honest assessment, we will admit that we all want to be the hero of our own stories. It is an innate desire and unquenchable thirst. It is what we live for, plan for, and strive towards. Most times, however, we become the villain in our own stories because we work against ourselves. Let me explain. What makes a hero or a villain is simply how they respond to a crisis, a painful situation such as hurt, abandonment, suffering, rejection, false accusation, failure, moral fall, etc. The dilemma, the crisis, the predicament, the problem may be the same, but your response makes you a villain or hero, antagonist or protagonist. A proactive and positive response makes a person a hero. I sense you are nodding in agreement at this point. That might sound all well and good, but the hero is not a hero because he is a hero. His choice makes him or her a hero or heroine. His response is the deciding factor. But if you are not a hero before the predicament and choice, how do you make a hero choice? No one chooses to be a hero. You choose to do the right thing, a right response, an unexpected proactive response that transforms you from a regular person into a hero in the eye of the beholder. When you take the high road, people look up to you. Sometimes you might not choose to do the right thing, but it is what you choose after you have chosen not to do the right thing that makes you a hero. Which means I can choose to be a hero at any point in time. I call that second chances. You might make a lot of mistakes leading to that point, but you interpret every failure and fumble as defining moments of shaping, of learning curves, of pruning and the tilling of the soil for what is ahead of you. That is how you become and remain a hero. It doesn't matter how many times you fall, how many times you fail. What matters is how many times you get up. Most times, the hero does not realize that he has the capacity to take the high road. If you enjoy watching movies, anime, and whatever genre, you will find this on point. When you watch a movie and follow the best stories, you will always find a guide who gives the right word to the hero in that painful moment when he thinks about how to respond to the situation. And that is his turning point. He becomes a hero by that positive choice that says, it is what it is. So I will not spend my energy on what I cannot change, but I will focus on how to use it to my advantage and press forward. I will learn from it and grow. I will be better and not bitter. So he forgives and he forgoes many things that can distract him. The guide, though not the hero, brings out the hero in the character. The guide inspires heroism, and he, that is the hero, courageously lives it out. Now what about the villain? Have you heard about Shylock from Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice? He was the loan shark who demanded his pound of flesh. If you don't like Shakespeare, let me explain this in English. The villain seeks revenge in the same situation, etc. And that revenge may take different forms, but none is productive. Revenge is the key word to describe the villain. Now what about the victim? The victim is the proverbial damsel in distress. Someone who is trapped, helpless and hopeless, just waiting to be rescued, usually by the hero. But every time the hero makes an attempt, he has to face the villain who tries to prevent the rescue. That's what makes the movie the movie. But what makes the victim a victim? When a person thinks there are no options and feel trapped, etc., then he is adopting a victim mentality. Trapped underground, trapped in outer space, trapped in your basement, trapped in an accident. You can change the setting, but the victim will see no options. You are not a victim. However, the hero always sees options and creates options. Again, I ask you, who is the hero in your story? Now to the point and application. In each of our lives, we have to realize that we can be a villain to ourselves by the limiting thoughts, desire for revenge, the desire to prove yourself right to a group of people who don't really care. This is the hopeless inner dialogue that we have with ourselves. I call this fruitless and wasteful expenditure. Listen, my children, if you are facing difficult situations that may seem hopeless and you will be tempted to think you are victims, when that happens, even if there are opportunities and options, you won't see them. We get blinded by a victim mindset. A villain has a victim mindset as well. Get it? V for villain, V for victim. Just to recap, let me ask, who makes the difference to help transform the protagonist into a hero? The writer? Not really. The writer has to create the catalyst. In movies and theater, they call this person the guide. Yes, you are right, the guide. I like to say that even though we might be influenced for good by friends and family, God is your master guide, and the Bible is the map that He has given to guide us. But God will not act for you. You have to choose. I believe that God gives opportunities, and success depends on how prepared you are and how you use those opportunities. If you understand it like this, then the application is mind-blowing. It means that God will always have your back, and He sees the hero in you even before you realize it. That is why God doesn't give up on us. Now that explains why He has never given up on me. That's cool, right? I think so. Just think about it. This is the way we actually write our own stories. And we get another shot at it every morning of every new year, year after year. For a long time, I was not writing my own story. So I know what I am talking about from personal experience. Some of us are not writing our own stories. We are merely correcting, trying to make everything look pretty and perfect for the world to see. But life is messy, and we are not perfect. Some people are living other people's lives, and they wonder why they feel inadequate, insecure, or incompetent. We have to fight our own battles. And if you are a David, you cannot fight in Saul's armor, even if Saul is the king. You have to fight in your own armor. Let me tell you, I feel good when I hear that people love me, and I know that they love me not because I am perfect. This makes me really feel loved. I'm not perfect. I let people down. I let you down so many times. I let myself down. I even disappointed God multiple times. And unlike man, He doesn't keep a record. We want to settle every score, straighten every wrong response, hope people forget the wrongs we did. I guarantee you, there might be some reasons to not like me, and there are much more reasons to love me. And the same can be said of you. I'm not really interested in how or why you fell or failed. I want to know how and why you got up and pressed on. That is your story waiting to be written. That is what inspires people. Small people focus on small things. People who are insecure and feel like victims like to prop themselves up by putting others down. Great people lift others up. They build. Don't be reduced to an unnatural size by the small talk of small minds of small people. In each of our lives, we have a choice presented at different times to be a hero, to be a villain, victim, or guide. No one can make you a victim without your permission. The truth is that most times we play the villain and enemy in our own lives by the limiting thoughts, catastrophic thinking, and hopeless inner dialogue that we have with ourselves. Other times you feel like a victim, helpless with no options. When that happens, even if there are opportunities and options, you won't see them. As I said before, you get blinded by a victim mindset. Let's go back to the guide. You've seen the guide in nearly every story you've read, you've listened to, or in the movies you've watched. Karate Kid has Miyagi, Frodo has Gandalf, Katniss has Haymitch, Luke Skywalker has Yoda. What I just told you might seem unrelated to what I'm going to tell you next, but keep it at the back of your mind, and at the right time, before the end of this heart to heart, you will see how this fits. In this video message, I am going to show you how not to give up on your dreams. You will lose many things in your life: money, opportunities, power, position, prestige, but you should never lose your dream and calling. You'll change many things in your life: clothes, cars, the company, but you must never trade your dreams. You'll take many detours, off-ramps, and make a few U-turns, but you must always stay on the path leading to your dream. I want to show you how to never lose, trade, or deviate from your dream. I speak from personal experience when I say, when you find yourself alone, you will never feel lonely if you still have your dream. So stay with me, because I promise that you will not be disappointed. You know, I've spoken to young people in many countries, in schools, in churches, in homes, and open air meetings. When people ask me to speak about pursuing dreams to young people, I have always focused on the person and not the dream. Here's why. Number one, it is your dream. If you give up on yourself, you can forget about your dream, whatever that dream might be. Number three, because it is only you that can make your dream become a reality. Listen, everyone is interested in their own dreams. Very few people will be interested in your dream. And number four, therefore, every investment, every tweak, every adjustment, every change, and any improvement and every pivot you make to make yourself better, you are building momentum, expanding capacity, and increasing the pace towards your dream. Everyone has a dream, and if you are still long enough and think about it, your dream will surface. The people who say they don't have a dream have fallen victim to the false assumption that they can never reach their dreams. One of the saddest moments I lived in my life is when I had to comfort a husband who lost his pregnant wife. Because when she died on that operation table, it was not just she who died, but her baby died with her. Even in this moment, my heart is heavy when I think about that. As sad as this memory is, it illustrates the point that if the baby is her dream, and then her dream died with her. In some movies, you will find distant and cold husbands suddenly treating their wives with care and loving attention when they are pregnant. Why? Because his wife, pregnant wife, is carrying his baby. And the only way to take care of the unborn baby is to take care of the mother. If you take care of the mother, you will inevitably care for the baby. Why do you think doctors advise young pregnant mothers not to drink alcohol or smoke tobacco? Because the health of the unborn baby is dependent on the health of the mother. For the baby to live, the mother must live. And here is where most of us get it wrong. We've been telling our children to hold on to their dreams when we should have been telling them to hold on to themselves. Matthew, in finding yourself, my son, you find your dream. The entire Christian narrative, according to the Bible, supports this idea. In my short life of just 49 years, I have never met anyone who gave up on themselves and still achieved their dreams. In the same breath, I must also declare that every single person who still believes in themselves are either on the path that will lead to the realization of their dreams, or they are currently living their dream. Every single person who has given up on their dreams, past, present, and in the future, would have given up on themselves first. So it is only reasonable to settle first things first. This year, if you are looking to put your money into something that will give you the highest return on investment, put your money where your mouth is, in yourself. If you want to build something, build yourself. If you want to restore something, restore yourself. If you want to construct something, construct yourself. If you want to program something, program yourself. If you want to establish something, establish yourself. If you want to grow something this year, grow yourself. If you want to believe in something, believe in yourself. And that, with God, all things are possible. If you want to dream about something, start with you. And what will happen if you don't? Nobody else will. And if you think you can't, I did not say to do it on your own. I am saying that you can do it with God, because what is impossible with man is possible with God. For the next few minutes, I want to share with you some life-changing words. I like to call them identity transformation principles that, if you embrace, will change your life, nudge you closer to your dreams, and make you excited to be alive. I'll keep it straight and to the point. Number one, don't fear being judged by those you care about if you fail. People who fear being rejected or judged end up playing it safe. They are alive but not living. Donald Miller, I think, put it so aptly when he wrote, "Fear isn't only a guide to keep us safe, it's also a manipulative emotion that can trick us into living a boring life." The great stories go to those who don't give in to their fear. Don't give others the power to influence your decisions. Instead of asking, what is it that I can do or that I truly want, most people give that power to others. Fast forward your life 10, 20, 30 years, you will realize that most of them would be dead and you would be still living their lives, not yours. You have to make decisions for yourself. Own it, learn from it, and grow from it. Number three, if you fail once, try again. Leandra, remember in your book, Resilient Learning, Pursuing Academic Excellence, you said, failing doesn't make you a failure. Most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss, but because they aim too low and hit. Aim high. Be that guy. Matthew, do you remember your words to me? A few months ago when I sat with you and explained how lonely I felt because I was looking for someone to show me how to do something I wanted to do, and because it was not done before, I didn't know how to do it. You know what you said? Remember? You said, "Be that guy, Dad." I thought it was awesome. because you can be the person you are looking for today, and when people looking for that guy tomorrow, they will find you. If you stop walking, how do you expect to get to where you want to go? Once isn't a good judge of your potential. Remember, twice isn't either. 100 times is still not enough. It's a journey, son. You can never try too many times. Learn the lesson from the mistake. If you want to do something great, expect to fail multiple times. But what does that word really mean? Failure. Those who succeed are the ones who see those failures as lessons forever and always. Number 6, learn how to discipline yourself. Discipline is the single most valuable skill for turning your dream into a reality. Unfortunately, some people don't like waiting for things. They don't like practicing patience, don't see the value in withholding short-term rewards for long-term gains. But without discipline, you will never succeed. Don't just focus on the goal, focus on the process. Because if you focus on the process, you'll find yourself waking up morning after morning realizing, wow, I've come such a long way towards my goal. Number 8, believe in yourself. Don't look to others to believe in you. Don't expect others or anyone else to do the heavy lifting for you, to cheer you, to give you the money you need, to give you some sense of guarantee. Dreams don't work that way. You have to believe in yourself first so that others can follow. Surround yourself with people who are a positive influence. Remember, it is the vibe that makes the tribe. You are a reflection of the few people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with negative, unproductive people who don't have dreams of their own, then guess what? You are going to be just like them. Choose your company, your friends wisely. Learn to express yourself clearly. Most people never learn how to articulate well and explain what it is they really want out of life. You want to know why they can't? Because they aren't even sure themselves. If you can't explain it clearly, then no one would understand. Speak to be understood, not just to be heard. We hear the dogs bark and the birds chirp, but we don't understand a thing they say. Guys, don't expect to have a guaranteed path to achieve success. Most people want to know that the end result is guaranteed before taking the leap, putting themselves out there or going all in, pursuing their dreams. But that's the thing about dreams. They are not guaranteed. And that's why they are so fulfilling to chase and to pursue. Guys, be a long-term thinker. Short-term thinkers can't resist the pull to watch the game on Sunday night before the main exam the next day. Remember that. Learn to pivot when you meet obstacles. Adjust your expectations, shift and continue the journey. Don't give up. Press on. Reinvent yourself. No path stays the same forever. No person does either. Many people give up on their dream purely because they don't want to put in the effort to discover the next version of themselves. See yourself as a work in progress and don't be locked in one perspective, in one version. Don't be locked in one version of yourself that people expect of you. Don't get bored of repetition. The young and restless are usually those who are trying to live fast and furious. My children, let go of the past. Yes, it might have been glorious, it might have been painful, but if you continue to live in the past, the future will always be out of reach. There is no need to do it alone, guys. Do it with God as your partner. Spend more time in the learning zone instead of the performance zone. Nobody knows me like you guys. Do you know why I read so much? Why I study so much? Why? Do you know why I just recently got another degree? Let me share something that I learned from my personal experience. People who accomplish great things and eventually realize their dreams are those who live in two zones, the learning zone and the performance zone. The performance zone maximizes our immediate performance, while the learning zone maximizes our growth and future performance. In the learning zone, our goal is to improve. In our performance zone, our goal is to do something as best as we can to execute. The more time you spend in the learning zone, improving and growing, the more effective you will be in the performance zone when you do things that will position you closer to your dreams. Guys, I love you. You are young, energetic, and full of potential. You will have many years ahead of you in the performance zone. For now, maximize this period of your life as a student. Don't be too eager to leave the learning zone. Your time and your turn will come, and when it does, be ready for it. And now, before you say, Dad, did you have to make a video about it and be so melodramatic about this message? Let me say that if you live by these principles, you will become your own guide, and the hero in you will live on, refreshed, revived, energized, and fueled up every day of every year. Yes, God will fill you with wisdom to make the right choices. You will have to talk to yourself and listen to a lot of self-talk in your young adult lives. Be careful what you tell yourself. You are not the villain, and you are never the victim. So I ask you one last time, who is the hero in your story? Yes, you. Sometimes you will have to be the guide, but always be the hero of your story. And when the guide in you is confused, the master guide will always be close to you. Leandra, Matthew, I wish you will have a happy and a prosperous new year. My children, let me pray for you. Lord, I bring my children before you. Fill them with the courage to go after the dreams you've placed in their hearts. Fill them with the energy that they need to press on, regardless of their circumstances. Give them, Lord, the strength they need every day to overcome and to move forward and upward. Bless them in their studies. Bless them in the choices that they will make. Let every choice they make, let these choices bring out the hero in them, Lord. As their Father, I commit them into your hands, Lord. And while I pray for my children, I also pray for every other young person. Lord, what I share with Matthew and Leandra in this message, I pray not only them, but every other young person will listen to and apply in their lives. Thank you, God, for hearing the prayer of this Father for his children. In Jesus' name, amen.